Good morning. It's January 20th, and this is your daily brief in science. Here's everything you need to know. A recent global survey has shed light on public trust in scientists, revealing a mean trust score of 3.62 out of 5 among 71,922 respondents across 68 countries. This extensive study, conducted by a consortium led by Harvard University and ETH Zurich, provides valuable insights into how different regions perceive scientific authority. Interestingly, the survey highlighted that in Australia, political orientation did not significantly influence trust in science, suggesting a lower level of polarization compared to other areas. In contrast, the findings indicate that in North America and parts of Europe, individuals with conservative political views tend to exhibit lower trust in scientists, raising concerns about the effects of political ideologies on public perceptions of science. Participants expressed a clear desire for scientists to focus on pressing issues such as public health, energy solutions, and poverty reduction, rather than prioritizing military technology. Despite the overall high trust levels, only 42% of respondents felt that scientists take public feedback into account, indicating a disconnect between scientific priorities and public expectations. The researchers noted that while trust in scientists remains generally high, a small minority lacking that trust could significantly impact the integration of scientific knowledge into political decision-making. The study also acknowledged limitations, including potential biases from the online survey method and the predominance of educated respondents, which may not accurately reflect the broader population. An intriguing finding was the positive correlation between religiosity and trust in scientists, particularly in Muslim-majority countries, where many do not see a conflict between faith and science. Egypt emerged as the most trusted country for scientists, followed closely by India and Nigeria, while Albania and Kazakhstan recorded the lowest trust scores. The results underscore the critical role of public trust in science for effective policymaking and crisis management, especially in light of challenges like the COVID-19 pandemic. The research team, led by Victoria Colonia and Niels Med, emphasized the need for scientists to engage more with society and politics to enhance public trust. Overall, this study serves as a comprehensive examination of global trust in science, challenging the notion of a widespread crisis in public confidence. A new study published in Nature Medicine has shed light on the health impacts of glucagon-like peptide-1 receptor agonists, commonly known as GLP-1RAs, such as Ozempic and Wegovy. Conducted by researchers from Washington University and the Veterans Affairs St. Louis Healthcare System, the study analyzed data from nearly 2 million diabetes patients, with about 216,000 using GLP-1RAs for weight loss. The research identified 61 ways these medications affect health, primarily highlighting beneficial impacts. Notably, it showed reduced risks of seizures, addiction issues, suicidal ideation, and neurocognitive disorders, including Alzheimer's and dementia. As the use of GLP-1RAs continues to rise among Americans, understanding both their benefits and risks is increasingly important. While numerous advantages were noted, the study also reported increased digestive issues, low blood pressure, and a heightened risk of pancreatitis and arthritis. Additionally, the findings suggest that GLP-1 drugs may reduce cravings for substances like tobacco and alcohol, potentially influencing addiction disorders by targeting brain areas related to reward and impulse control. The study confirmed that GLP-1RA drugs can lower the risk of cardiovascular events, such as heart attacks and strokes, contributing to better heart health. However, the observational nature of the study means it cannot definitively establish cause and effect, which raises questions for future research. It's important to note that the demographic of the study's participants, primarily older, white male veterans, may limit the applicability of the findings to broader populations. These results have sparked interest in exploring new applications of GLP-1 medications, particularly regarding their effects on mental health disorders. Concerns have been raised about the accessibility of these medications through unregulated sources, which could lead to counterfeit products and adverse health outcomes. Experts stress the need for careful interpretation of the study's results and caution against altering prescription practices based solely on this data. A recent study from the Kumamoto Sanctuary in Japan has unveiled intriguing social behaviors among chimpanzees, specifically related to urination. Researchers observed that when one chimp urinates, it often triggers a chain reaction, with others following suit shortly after. This phenomenon resembles the contagious yawning seen in humans and suggests a deeper social interaction within the group. The study spanned over 600 hours and included 20 captive chimpanzees, during which more than 1,328 urination events were documented. Led by Ina Onishi from the Kyoto University Wildlife Research Center, the findings were published in Current Biology on January 20, 2025. The results indicate that this behavior may play a role in enhancing group cohesion and reinforcing social structures among chimpanzees. Co-author Shinya Yamamoto highlighted that these observations could unveil hidden leadership dynamics and strengthen social bonds within the group. Although psychologist Zana Clay, who was not part of the study, called for further research to understand the significance of this behavior, the implications are noteworthy. Future research plans include examining wild chimpanzees to see if similar behaviors occur in natural settings. Researchers aim to explore how factors such as sex, familiarity, and age influence this behavior and compare it to other species like bonobos. One hypothesis suggests that simultaneous urination might confuse predators by mixing urine scents, potentially serving as a deterrent. Additional studies are needed to delve into the mechanisms behind this behavior and its occurrence in other species. A new study sheds light on the health impacts of GLP-1 receptor agonists, a class of diabetes medications that includes Wegovy. Led by Ziad Al-Ali from Washington University in St. Louis, the analysis examined health records from over 216,000 diabetic patients using these medications, comparing them to more than 1.2 million veterans on alternative diabetes therapies over a median follow-up of 3.7 years. The findings reveal that GLP-1 receptor agonists significantly reduce the risk of several health issues, showing a 9% lower risk of heart attacks and an 8% lower risk of dementia. Additionally, the medications decreased risks for 42 different health conditions. However, the analysis also identified increased risks for 19 conditions, including a 15% higher chance of developing kidney stones and more than double the risk of drug-induced pancreatitis. Common side effects associated with GLP-1 receptor agonists include gastrointestinal disturbances, joint inflammation, sleep issues, and potential hypotension. The study emphasizes the importance of monitoring blood pressure and adjusting antihypertensive medications for patients using these drugs. While they offer broad health benefits, they are not without risks. Interestingly, the research suggests that these medications may have antidepressant properties, with users reporting a reduction in suicidal thoughts and self-harm. Furthermore, there was a noted decrease in substance use disorders among users, with reductions around 10%. The mechanism of action appears to involve brain receptors related to impulse control and reward, which may explain their effectiveness in appetite suppression. The study also indicates potential benefits in reducing obesity and inflammation, which are linked to various health issues. However, the rising popularity of GLP-1 receptor agonists has led to temporary supply shortages in Germany, as reported by the Federal Institute for Drugs and Medical Devices. Despite the overall positive findings, concerns regarding potential long-term tumor risks remain unestablished due to the relatively short observation period. Chemists at Oak Ridge National Laboratory have made a breakthrough in addressing plastic waste. They have developed an innovative method to upcycle discarded plastics into new macromolecules that possess enhanced properties. This new technique emphasizes high atom economy, recovering nearly all input materials, which makes it more energy efficient and environmentally friendly compared to traditional recycling methods. The upcycling process starts with shredding waste polymers and dissolving them in dichloromethane, where a ruthenium catalyst facilitates polymerization at a low temperature of just 40 degrees Celsius. The method employs two key processes: ring-opening metathesis polymerization, which elongates carbon rings into chains, and cross-metathesis, which swaps polymer subunits between chains. The use of a ruthenium catalyst is notable, as it has a history in the industry for creating durable plastics and converting biomass into fuels. Researchers have concentrated on modifying common waste polymers, such as polybutadiene from rubber tires and acrylonitrile butadiene styrene, used in toys and appliances. Future objectives include expanding this technique to a wider range of industrially relevant polymers, potentially leading to products that are softer, stretchier, or more durable. Additionally, the research aims to develop high-performance thermoset materials from upcycled plastics, which are typically challenging to recycle due to their cross-linked structure. This technique not only preserves the material, but also allows for precise control over the characteristics of the synthesized materials, opening up new uses for waste plastics. With approximately 450 million tons of plastic discarded globally each year and only 9% being recycled, this method represents a significant step in tackling an environmental challenge. The molecular editing technique utilized in this process is similar to CRISPR for DNA, enabling precise adjustments to polymer chains instead of simply melting plastics. Unlike traditional recycling methods that often degrade polymers, ORNL's approach maintains existing material properties while enhancing their functionality. This has been your Daily Brief in Science. To read more about these stories, follow the links in the episode bio. You can also subscribe to these updates via email at www.brief.news. For more daily podcasts about the topics you love, visit brief.news/podcasts. Tune in tomorrow. We'll be back with everything you need to know.